save file in case he misses the RNG manipulation, and everything will be as for what it was donated. So definitely check out the tracker. Go to crystalsforlife.ca. Look at what's coming up on the bids page and place your donations accordingly.
I just managed to get an encounter on like the 3 steps it takes to get into the building.
Yeah, getting an encounter on after you have that little cutscene there is really rare.
It's sort of okay, because I got to that place without getting any encounter, so getting through that screen without any encounters is pretty rare.
And the little bit of extra XP always helps.
Yeah, exactly. In particular for the marathon, and I usually do it anyway, I want to get Jansen to level 15 before Boggy Moray, so there'll be a little bit of, possibly a little bit of like running around just trying to get encounters just before Boggy Moray. But that'll be it basically for the whole run. So I pick up 2 items in here. This one is the search glasses, which I actually don't need until disc 3, but they are very, very important. I'm going to need those to be able to tell how much HP something has. That's what they do. They allow you to see how much HP bosses and enemies have. The other thing I picked up was a power drink, which are also very important for these runs. And power drinks in this, they're sort of like hero drinks from Final Fantasy VII, except they don't increase your defense. They'll just increase my attack, basically to double what I would normally be hitting for. It actually puts the best physical attack buff on you that's in the game. So there's like 3 levels. There's Power, Powerer, and Powerous, and it actually puts Powerous on you, which you can't actually get as a spell for a very long time.
So the fact you can get a power drink that early is pretty good.
And yeah, until we can actually make power drinks later on. You can never buy them, but you can make them later on. We'll basically be sort of rationing the ones that we can pick up along the way. There's about 3 in the first 2 discs, I think. And we'll be using all of them until we can make them. And then when we can make them, we're just going to make like 11 or 12 of them.
Oh, and then there's still a couple more safety ones you can pick up just in case.
Yeah, exactly. And we can expect Meta to yell at me for and telling me where to pick this other one up at, because he's been telling me for ages that picking this one up out of a chest will be faster than making an extra one at this location later on in the game. So I'll be looking forward to seeing where that is finally. The dream sequences in this, because it's a speed run, we're obviously going to be skipping all of them. But they're basically like little novels that you can read. They've all got, nearly all of them have got these really tragic stories in them about the previous years of these guys, because there's 4 immortals in this game, and you find out that their memories being manipulated through the course of their history, so they never retain all their memories, and all of the 1,000-Year Dreams are little, mini novels basically that you can read. They're all really cool. I've still not read them all. I've read like all the ones up until disc 3, and then you hit disc 4, and then they throw like 150,000 of them at you. It just got a little bit too much for me because I wanted to finish the game. But they are really well written, and oh dude, that was a handy crit. Oh, damn it.
That was not a handy miss, though.
No, that just took that away. You might think it's like stupid to be attacking the flying things with physical attacks, but it's really not a low chance to hit them at all. I think it might be like slightly lower than normal, but like I would definitely say it's like at least a 90% chance that I'm going to hit them. Damn, these birds have 110 health, so it had 7 health left then. Seth doesn't quite do as much damage as Kaim, so she's, at this point in the game, she's a little bit more necessary to get perfects on, if you can do it. Knew there was going to be one more encounter. I'll do my menuing after this, I think.
It is possible to get through the screen without one encounter.
But have you done that?
I'm pretty sure I have.
That's ridiculous. How could you possibly do that?
You know my luck.
Must be Montana. It's all the Montana luck. Oh, damn. Those things have 130 health, so that thing's got 9 left now. I should have actually got Seth to attack the bird now that I think about it. Because she's a high enough level now. Usually you get Kime to attack the bird because Kime will always do enough damage even if you only get a good, but they're a high enough level now that I probably could have switched that around. Alright, so formation, we're going to move Seth to the back row. The long and short version of the story there is that it's safer. Hadn't learned that yet. Sometimes you do enough encounters to learn something here, but I haven't yet. I've got a skill link white magic, that's all. Yes, I'm actually doing that now.
I am going to die of shock.
Marathon safety.
And here's where I yell at you because you could have done it sooner.
I could have too. Oh dude, I didn't hit the edge. I've got a heal too, damn it. 2 menu stops. 2 really slow menu stops.
I know most of your regulars have been waiting for this. Spud,
Spud,
please.
Yes, yes, yes. That's right, I don't think I've forgotten anything, that's the most important thing.
Yes.
Alright, so here's the first boss. Keep in mind that I'm not underleveled or anything at this point. I've been fighting all the encounters I've been running into. This is what you can expect in a casual playthrough. This boss is absolutely ruthless. And, you know, some people come into the first boss and then joke about how easy, like how hard it is, and then it turns out to be really easy. This is going to be a fast fight, but it could be that I will lose this. It's just this hard. Now,
Downburst first turn?
Yep, downburst first turn. The marathon luck has begun. Downburst is obviously his worst attack, and that's why I moved Seth into the back row, because if she was in the front row, she would have taken 200 from that as well.
Yeah, since now she's basically guarded by Kime's HP.
Yeah, exactly. So you can see the GC at the top right-hand corner. Basically, because that was full, the back row took no damage almost from that attack. And every time that the front row gets attacked, the GC will decrease, and therefore the back row will take more damage.
Yeah, I think full GC is like a 10th of the
Yeah,
damage
you take
or
like
something?
a tenth damage in the back row if the GC is full. And we'll be delving into the GC mechanics in great detail towards the start of Disc 3, and in a few other places during the run too. But basically with this fight, you just want to hope you don't get too many downbursts, and I think that should be it. This second flare bomb should kill it. Maybe the first one. No.
No.
Alright,
Nice.
that was an absolutely god tier fight. having no one die in that fight is
Even despite downburst first turn.
yeah, a downburst. Like usually if he does downburst first turn, he'll like attack someone or poison claw them on the second turn, and then he'll do another downburst like nearly every time. So I was pretty happy.
That bad.
Yeah, that was really good. It's also sort of important at this point in the game that people stay alive for boss fights, just for experience. But with Grilgan, you just take what it gives you. You can't really control a lot of things. The other really annoying thing for casual play with Grilgan is that if you decide that you want to load it from a save or something like that and go back, you've got to go all the way back to the hut and then deal with all the random encounters again all the way up. You do get checkpoints and retries in this, which is pretty handy, but if you decide you need to pick something up or do more leveling or something like that, you might decide to go all the way back, and you've got a bit of a trek to make then. So we're in sort of a new area now and the encounters have changed. These guys are really, really horrible. These are ground dudes, Sabellas, that's what they're called. Whoops, I should flare him and attack that. And the birds also now have more health, so Seth probably can't kill them. Okay, she can.
Wow.
She can do exactly the right amount of damage.
You forgot to heal.
I did. I forgot to heal.
I don't even think about it, so I can't even spud please.
I might have to actually flee here.
Time's pretty low.
Yeah, I better get out of here because Jansen's dead. We're gonna see how useless the flee command actually is.
Hopefully.
Oh god.
Nope.
If I die here, I've got to do Grilgan again. Good thing it's a short fight. I'm probably dead. Come on, roll.
Yep.
Damn it.
Oh
We're
my
off to a
God.
good start.
Marathon luck has begun.
Yes, marathon luck and marathon fail. Yes, I normally jump into the menu and revive people after the Grogan fight, but I didn't have to do it this time. I'm used to seeing people dead, so I don't know, I guess that's what did it. Either that or I was too busy thinking about what I was going to talk about or something, I don't know. I'm pretty bad like that. It's alright, it's a short fight, so as long as he doesn't screw me over. You might be able to see his sort of worst side now, I suppose. Which might be
Hopefully
interesting.
not.
Hopefully not. You know what it was? I was looking at that save point and thinking, maybe I should safety save. But no, I'm just going to run into random encounters, it'll be fine. It's an interesting first turn. It's not necessarily the worst thing that can happen, but it's like almost as bad as downburst to get poison clawed on the first turn. Because that means he's probably going to do a downburst now. No?
No?
I'm pretty sure he can only poison claw the front row, so you usually know who's going to attack at least when he does that. But now my GC is like completely empty, so if he attacks the back row, he's probably going to kill them. Or if he does a downburst. If he does a downburst, I just need Jansen to survive.
Physical. Okay.
This is going to end up like exactly the same. Is this poison going to kill or not? Oh, it
Yes.
did exactly the right amount. God damn it. Is that going to be 2 bombs? No, that's more than 2 bombs. Probably going to kill Jansen. This is going to be awkward. Have I got enough bombs? I've got enough bombs, alright. He can't, there's nothing he can do that will kill Seth this turn. Win. It's like something in like really rarely casts. It's like something he casts like on his 4th turn or something. I don't know exactly how it works, but yeah, it's not really a big deal. I might actually get Jansen up because I can kill this guy in 1 turn. 2. Nice. Nice, Grogan. Thanks, dude. We'll just get Jansen up for some extra experience. Alright.
Now, remember the heal.
I'm going to heal this time, and it's going to be great. I suppose the other thing about healing after bosses is that you pretty much never have to do it. You're either sort of near the end of the game, well, not even the end of the game, like basically after the first half of this disc, where you'll have Turntail and you'll just be running from everything after that point. The only other place that I can really think of that you heal after boss fights is in the Arthrosaurus fights later on, like much later on, where you have to heal basically after every fight. I didn't mention that mana herb I picked up, by the way. There was a like this group of pebbles on the ground that I knocked over, and there's actually a mana herb in them. And that's exactly what it's used for, just to make sure that Jansen's got enough MP to get through this section. It was pretty unlucky. Of all the encounters that I got the absolute worst one. But if I run into that encounter again now, I should be fine.
All right, at the moment, we're have every donation incentive for Lost Odyssey met except We are $5 away from the mama cutscene.
We definitely. I will do that if that doesn't happen. The mama cutscene is the best.
Somebody
You want
step
the
up.
mama cutscene.
You definitely want the mama cutscene.
And just a reminder, after assuming that gets met, the starting donation incentives for trainer gender, name, and starter name for Pokemon White, we're cutting off about 3 hours
Rival
into
name
the run.
2.
What?
Rival
the rival
name
name 2. Because Villagin needs to get his backup save in case he can't get the RNG manipulation done in a reasonable amount of time. So keep that in mind, guys.
There was one random encounter there that I ran away from. Basically, that's the only random encounter I'm going to run away from at the moment because it's a pretty slow fight. You don't get much experience from it, and it's usually pretty easy to run away from, even with the regular flee command. So you still saw though that the flee command failed twice there, and you know in that encounter before it failed 3 times as well. So it's really not a very useful thing. I think I'm going to try and get Jansen to level 15 for the next boss. I think you could probably do it at 13 if you were absolutely crazy and you felt like harming yourself in that way.
It is not pretty to go into a level 13 with Jansen. Mainly
man.
for later in the disc. Oh.
Whoa. That was interesting, controller, thank you. I decided to go left, left, down, even though I was going left, left, left. Thank you, okay. It seems to be behaving itself now. Ah, come on, get me out of here. Basically, these guys have like really high physical defense. And that's basically how I'm doing all my damage at the moment. Usually you can flee on the first, if not the second turn.
This
But,
is bad luck for this encounter.
There we go, we're good.
That was really, really bad luck for that encounter.
I think I've seen 3 fails before, but it's a very rare
5.
thing. I'm usually pretty disappointed if I don't get it on the first one.
It's very, very often you'll get first try flee on that fight.
Yeah. I think the idea is there's some like turn order thing that tells whether or not you can flee or not. It still has a pretty bad chance no matter how like fast or whatever you are, but oh man, there we go. It seems to, like against stuff that casts spells, it seems to be easy to use the flee command. But I haven't really tested it all that much because very soon we'll be getting turn-tail shooters and then running away from encounters isn't going to be a problem anymore.
Flee strats can still help.
Yes, but I'm lazy and I don't use them. When Rinny here plays, she quite often, like if people don't have turn-tail, like you've got to teach it to people in the general case, you can still use the flee command, and sometimes the flee command is faster than the turn-tail command, so you can run away sooner, you know, before enemies get attacks in and stuff like that. But the risk is that you get that bit of dialogue and it wastes a few seconds every time you fail. So I would probably agree that it's slightly faster to use flee, just because like there's a chance that it'll, you know, go ahead of like 6 enemies' turns or something like that once during the run, which will save, you know, probably 20 seconds.
Time.
Yeah, but. I don't know, I haven't gotten into the habit of doing that. It makes the menuing a lot easier. Gives me more of a chance to look at my notes and stuff like that. So I'm still just very much defend and turn tail. Alright, so there's a couple of interesting things we've got to do here. We've got to go visit the Pipot, which I'm not really sure what the equivalent of that would be in any other game, but basically you can give it items and it will combine them into other items for you. It's like it sits in a pot. It reminds me of a Moogle, but it doesn't look anything like a Moogle.
Magic pot, kinda?
Yeah, it's sort of like the magic pot, kind of. You know, it's you know, a thing in a pot that gives you items. But I'll be basically giving all of those healing medicines that I started with and the 2 that I bought to this thing, and he's going to spit out 3 healing herbs, which are much, much better because they heal 500 instead of 100. If you're wondering, by the way, why I wasn't healing on Grilgan, it's because every healing thing that I have access to heals for like nothing. It heals for like 100, so all these healing medicines heal for exactly 100. Jansen's heal might heal for like 120 or something. And you're just better off trying to kill him before he kills you. Alright, so I've got 3 healing herbs there. They'll be used just... there's not really any particular place that they're used, but all of the next bosses can be a little bit flaky, so if I run into any bad luck with them, then I'll use them there. There's a bit of a weird thing that I'm doing here. I'm trying to get these guards to move away from these boxes so I can push and pull them, so I can get into that secret area in the middle. And beating that guy back so that you can squeeze in here and pick up this bit of extra money is, like, it actually has a really tight timing window. So I've sort of gotten the hang of it now. I don't really mess it up anymore, but it can happen if you just, you know, stumble, if you graze a box on the way past or something like that.
Yeah, I usually don't get it, but somehow, a lot of times I can still get in first try. It just requires a little manipulation with text boxes.
Yeah, I sort of, I tried to find like a really safe way of doing it, but it's really awkward to like try and time everything exactly right. So I just ended up learning how to do it the fast way, like as well as I could.
So yeah, the item he picked up in the pot there was the infamous turntail shoes we've been talking about this whole time.
That was the probably the most important pickup in the run, and I can't believe this. I don't have enough money to buy what I need to buy, even though
quite a few elementals.
Yeah.
Can I turn the volume down just like 2 notches?
Yep, sure. So for the first time in like ages, I actually had to sell something there to be able to buy the Platinum Gauntlet, even though I did the safety strat of picking up Aqua on the way, which I don't think I explained that, but there was a chest on the way down that cliffside that I picked up that contained the spell Aqua, which I'm going to need for the next boss.
You can buy it here, or you can pick it up in that chest.
Yeah, depending on your encounters, like if I didn't die after I got that encounter in Epsilon Mountains after Grilgan, that would have been a good encounter for money. It's not good for much else, but it is good for money. Even though I went and picked up Aqua so I wouldn't have to buy it here, I still didn't have enough for the Platinum Gauntlet, which is... Platinum Gauntlet's sort of useful, but it's not critically important, but, you know, marathon safety and all that. If it was a regular run and I found I didn't have enough money for it there, I would have just done without it, but fortunately something dropped these little poison things that I saw earlier on, and...
It's probably the plants.
Yeah, quite possibly. Yeah, it probably would have been that. I don't think there's anything else that casts poison, or inflicts poison.
Yeah, that's all I can think of.
So the shopping trip there, after I picked up the glorious Turntail shoes, I bought 10 Aqua Bombs, bombs just for the next boss, as per usual. And what else did I buy? The Platinum Gauntlet, which I will be using for Army 1, which is coming up after Boggy Moray.
The all shield he just picked up there will be very useful for the second to last boss of the disc?
Yes. Yeah, it'll be for the Knight's fight, which is coming up about, I don't know, half an hour from now, give or take.
Roughly.
Oop, my turn order's all messed up. I've got to make sure I change formation before I go back. Normally for Grilgan I would just run in with the formation that's set as default, so I don't have to go into the menu and change it back and forth, but yeah, again for the marathon, it's a little bit safer to put Seth in the back row just so that you don't get quite as wrecked by downburst.
But if you go into the next fight with Seth in the back row, there's a very good chance you'll get wrecked just from luck.
Yeah, it's not a complete disaster, but you do prefer... Oh, we just cast shield on that. Okay, we'll switch that around then. Yeah, there's it's around about the same, but yeah, it just depends on how bad luck you get with force and all that. They're more likely to cast force on the same on the front row person. So. And
if you're me, you'll get 4 forces on
four
one target.
Yeah, there's a very interesting story behind that. There's in the next fight, there's 5 little dudes in the front row, and I out of all the runs I've done, I expect that they probably have about a 10% chance of casting the spell Force, and our lovely friend Rinny here managed to get 4 of them to cast it in one turn, which I'm pretty sure, even though I've seen the VOD, I've seen it happen, I still think that's impossible.
Some of my luck I get in this game is
interesting.
Interesting.
Yes, there are some interesting highlights. Interesting is definitely the word to use. So I picked up the yellow band off that last little pylon thing. I don't know what these things are really, but...
That's the power drink.
Yeah, I got the yellow band before. That was the power drink. This one's the slot seed, I believe.
Yes, and the last one is the apprentice earrings. Apprentice earrings teach level 2 white black,
Yep.
but we won't actually, in general, use it to actually teach that.
Yeah,
We'll use it to just like put it on a mortal so that they can actually use level 2 black magic because they already have white magic.
Yeah, exactly. So basically, in this game, there's 4 immortals and 5 mortals, and the immortals can learn abilities off the mortals, and they can also learn things off items, similar to what you'd expect in Final Fantasy IX. They just equip items, and then eventually, after they gain enough SP, they'll learn it, and they'll be able to use it without using the item from that point on. Mortals can't learn anything, so they're stuck with the abilities that they begin with, but they are important so that you can teach your immortals new abilities.
And some of them have very handy abilities to teach.
We'll learn of a couple in particular later on, which just ruin the entire last disc. Which is handy because the entire last disc was a bit of a brown trousers moment for the old strats that we used to use. The entire last boss fight was just absolutely terrifying all the way through.
Spud, we just met the donation incentive for the Mama cutscene.
Ooh, excellent.
So
Thank
that
you very
means
much,
that
guys.
all of the donation incentives for Lost Odyssey have been met.
Thank
so if
you
you're
very much.
donating and you're looking for something to donate towards, go to crystalsforlife.ca. There's a link to the donation tracker, and if you click on the bids part, you can find all of the things you can put your donations towards. There's plenty of stuff to donate towards with the Pokemon White Run coming up after this. Still quite a while away, but it is the next run coming up after this.
We are in for the long haul here.
Yeah.
Dude, this TV has magical powers. I'm never this good with perfect. It took me like, I don't know, 3 or 4 fights to get used to it. Now all of a sudden I'm hitting like every one. I'm sure it won't last. I'm sure when it actually matters that I'll be bad at it again, but it's going pretty well so far.
So the little guys in these fights here are actually what's in the next boss fight.
Yeah,
They just stand in the
exactly.
front row, but because they're on their own and they actually give decent XP considering.
Yeah, they give really good experience, and they are absolutely weak in this fight.
Yeah, you can usually one-shot them.
The charge ability that they use is actually an ability they have in the next fight, and unless they're in that next fight, the charge ability is completely useless and does nothing and just wastes a turn.
Yeah.
And the only other attack that they have is their physical attack. These ones can't even cast force, which the ones in the battle can. So
I know, like, you usually fight everything along the way, but at least with what I do, I just wait for these guys because they're so weak.
yeah, exactly. So you can just come up to this place and
Get up to the level you need.
yeah, so because these guys, like, you never have to heal in between fights, and you know they've got like no health, and you know they're really easy to beat. So it is also possible that you can run away from everything and then just fight these guys because you know they're not going to give you any trouble.
Also, that was a very impressive crit on Jansen there.
That was pretty good. Yes, magic crits are incredibly rare in this, but they are really good. Wait, did he hit 15? No, he didn't.
No.
Okay. Wow, I'm actually surprisingly low level. It's actually pretty rare now that I have to run around here and gain levels, but it is very important that I get Jansen to level 15 here. If
I typically, like with my strats, I don't have to do this too much because I'll usually get enough encounters on the way, but there are times when this happens.
Yeah, it's because I run into those elemental dudes in the Ypsilon Mountains. I got like no experience there, so
Yeah.
unfortunately we're just going to have to run around. It should be 2 more encounters and then we should be good to go.
Unfortunately, a lot of this comes back to Epsilon and just getting those bad encounters.
Yeah, exactly.
And then there's always the miss.
The miss chance in this is like really, really low. I'd be surprised if it was anything above 1%. It might be like 2% or something, so it's always really disappointing when you see a miss. It's sort of okay though, because Jansen's going to finish this last one off pretty easily. Probably should have said to defend on someone then, because it's going to be a waste of time now, but...
Could have gotten lucky crit, right?
yeah, it's quite possible. I'm actually not sure if a crit would kill these guys. Maybe like a perfect crit on Kime and do a decent job.
Perhaps.
Oh wow, that did it. Okay, cool. Let's go. We've got some menuing to do first. So I'm going to equip the yellow band on Jansen so he can't be paralyzed in the next